Alright guys, today we are going to learn about glycolysis, alcohol fermentation, and lactate fermentation. And my name is Malachi Swanson, and I will be introducing these topics. Basically, glycolysis is the first step in cellular respiration. In glycolysis, there are two major steps, the energy investment step and the energy harvesting step. And I will break those down soon. Also, glycolysis occurs in the cytoplasm of the cell. Alright, let's move on to the steps. In the energy investment step, glucose is broken down with ATP to make this chain right here. And as you can see, there's phosphates on the chain from the ATP. So then it breaks down even further, and it breaks down into G3P, which is basically the next step in the energy harvesting step. So then we move up here to the energy harvesting step, and the G3P is broken down from it's broken down into this, and NAD plus is made into NADH, and phosphate is, or another phosphate group is added into the G3P. So then we'll get BPG. I messed up on drawing it. It should be BPG, but anyway, ATP is added in and created into ATP, and the phosphate group from the BPG is taken off, so then there's only one left. So now we move on to 3PG, and basically this step is just water comes out, and I think it gets rid of some hydrogens and stuff like that. So then we have the PEP, which basically is this chain right here. It adds ADP again to create ATP, and then we have two pyruvates right here. And basically the products of glycolysis are pyruvate, and then two ATPs, and two NADHs. And this is kind of just like a breakdown of it. It's all the inputs and outputs for glycolysis. You get the glucose, and it breaks down to pyruvate. The 2 NAD that we add becomes 2 NADH. Then the 2 ATP becomes 2 ADP. And then the 4 ADP with the 4 phosphate groups becomes 4 ATP. So then basically products, as said earlier, 2 ATP, 2 pyruvate, and 2 NADH molecules. Alright, now we'll move on to alcohol fermentation. And basically it's carried out by yeast, and it's mainly used in alcohol and bread. The products of alcohol fermentation are carbon dioxide and ethyl alcohol. And I'll show you the process now. Basically, you just have glucose, and you add in the 2 ADP to make 2 ATP, and then it makes 2 pyruvate. Now we move down here, and carbon dioxide is released, and then it moves to make acetaldehyde. And then after that, it moves on, and the 2 NADH that was made from the glucose breaking down to pyruvate turns into 2 NAD plus, and it makes ethanol, which is basically alcohol. And that's basically alcohol fermentation. Now we'll move on to lactate fermentation. Lactate fermentation is carried out by certain fungi and bacteria, and is used in cheese, yogurt, and sauerkraut, so kind of like dairy products. Lactate fermentation produces lactic acid, also known as lactate. And also one other thing I wanted to point out. Alcohol fermentation and lactate fermentation are both anaerobic processes, so they don't require oxygen. And then I'll just move on to the process now. Glucose is broken down from glycolysis, and you just add the 2 ADP plus 2P into and then it makes 2 ATP. And then once you do that, it breaks it down to 2 pyruvate again, and then just bring it down here, and then it regenerates NAD, like using this cycle right here. And then after that, it makes 2-lactate. And basically, that's it. That's all there is to it. So, this is glycolysis, alcohol fermentation, and lactate fermentation. Thanks.